What could be better than 2 secret abilities? Well, 3. This week's Volleyball Legends update just leaked and they are adding a new secret ability to the game. So while I'm playing ranked, I'm going to try my best to theorize what this new ability could be. The current secret abilities are Magnetic Pull and Shield Breaker, and they're both mainly used to spike. Because of this, I'm going to assume that they're not adding another spiking ability, and that this new ability will probably be for either setting, receiving, blocking, or serving. So let's talk about these 4 options. For setting, I actually had an idea way back, even before Timeskip Kageyama was added to the game. My thought was, what could be faster than a fast set? And well, it's an instant set, so my idea is called Teleport Set, and this is how it would work. Essentially, when the player jumps up and uses the ability, then there'll be a circular outline and a line going towards that outline that shows where the ball will go when you set. Now obviously you'll be able to adjust the distance with the regular advanced, the controls there. If you hold it down, it'll go shorter, and I think this could be very fun to use. Obviously it might sound a little bit overpowered, and well, it kind of is, but I definitely think that the devs could find some way to make it balanced. Perhaps the enemies see some kind of indicator of where the set is going to go, but either way, I think this very much just makes logical sense. It's a next step ahead from the sets in the game, because recently for good sets they've just been making it so that they hit harder like Taicho, or they're really fast sets. So I think just an even faster, actually the fastest possible set, just a teleport set. It just makes sense to me. Of course, there are some cool techs you could do with this. Maybe you can teleport it onto the opponent's side of the court. I think that'd be very interesting to see as well. So I think it would fit the game style, and I think it could be balanced as long as they pull it off correctly. Before I talk about the receiving ability, please subscribe, bro. I'm giving away an ability or style slot at 8,000 subscribers, and I'm giving away a $20 Robux gift card at 10,000. So subscribe, like, watch this entire video, and join the Discord below. Love you. For receiving, I thought of an ability called Instant Defense. Basically, imagine when you use it, it would create a ring around you that follows you for the duration of the ability. If the ball enters this ring, then the user does an incredibly quick dive and automatically receives the ball. It might sound a little broken, but it can easily be buffed or nerfed by changing the range of the circle and how long it lasts. Personally, I think diving is one of the hardest parts of the game, because you really need to be good at reading or whatever. So this is essentially just people who have a skill issue like me and can't really receive very well. You can use this ability and it'll guarantee safety as long as the ball lands within the range. So you still have to have a little bit of sense of where the ball is going to go. So it takes a little bit of skill, but it's definitely very strong, and I think it is deserving to be a secret ability because it basically prevents you from losing a point. It will also be able to receive any kind of speed, so a maxed out like Timeskip Hinata spike with a Taicho set buff and divine strength, it'll always be able to receive no matter what. So it will definitely be able to compete with some other really powerful abilities in this game. It was a little harder to come up with an idea for blocking, since they basically have like huge range and power already with Mikage in the game and Hirakumi, and they also have Steel Block. But I think I was able to cook up a good idea, alright? My idea is called Strong Joust. If you don't know what jousting is, it's when the ball is right at the net and 2 opposing players are trying to contact it at the same time and push it onto the opposing team's court. In Volleyball Legends, there are a lot of times where everyone goes up to the net and tries to block or spike, and it just results in a mess. With the Strong Joust ability, your actions will always prevail. You know how if you block the ball, then you can't block again until you touch the ground and then jump and block? Well, with Strong Joust, you'd be able to block infinitely for the duration of the ability. I think that this is a little too niche though, because I mean, essentially the only way that you're gonna get use out of this is if there are multiple people at the net and you block, it'll just override everyone else's blocks. But I don't think that's gonna happen very often, so I also thought that it would be useful to have a little extra. So my idea was what I thought they would do for Tendo, or I guess Mikage as they adapted him into the game, which was automatically, or I guess manually, move your arms to the side and have a little special animation for that. But with this ability, I think they could do it automatically, and I also think it would look really cool and it fit the style of the game. I'm gonna have to hop into a different ranked game here because yeah, the last people left. Anyway, so yeah, that would essentially just increase the hitbox of the block, which I think is pretty much just a general thing that you want to do. And of course, it would also override Shield Breaker, since that's kind of a given with any kind of block ability. And next we have serving. Now for serving, it was really difficult to come up with an idea, because I would have originally thought that, like the float serve with the twins or the special rainbow serve with Timeskip Oikawa, I would have thought those would be some kind of secret abilities. but unfortunately they're just secret specials. So I had to come up and be kind of creative with these ideas, but I think I made some pretty decent ideas, alright? So the first one is an ability called net serve. Now if you played real volleyball, then you know how weird and unexpected and difficult it is to receive a serve that touches the net, alright? Essentially, it's a serve at full speed, but it touches the net and just instantly loses all its speed and just falls straight down. So in Volleyball Legends, how I think this could work is, as long as you aim it slightly correctly and just in the general direction of the net, then it will touch the net and it will instantly fall down, canceling all its speed and just going down. Now obviously, this also sounds extremely OP at first glance, alright? But hear me out, it's very easy to read, alright? If they're serving, you can keep track of their abilities if you didn't know. If you hold tab, underneath their names there's a yellow bar. So when that's full, you already know that they have the ability, so it's an option. And good players receive pretty close to the attack line, so they're pretty close to the net anyway. So it's not even that difficult to receive. Also, when they actually just use the ability, they're probably going to jump and then use it midair, and you can see that massive purple aura as well as the sound that plays whenever they use an ability. So I think if you have good enough reaction time and you're good enough at the game, then you will be able to receive a net serve, but I do think that it would be secret ability worthy, and it's definitely something that they should consider. Of course, another good thing about this in my opinion is that it makes Kimura more useful because he can dive to it much faster than any other style in the game. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. Kimura is one of the most underrated styles right now, and people barely use him, so I think this would be a good change so that, you know, people start using Kimura more. Even with his exclusive counter to Time Save Oikawa and his incredible dive and his insane stats, he just isn't used very much, and I think that he deserves a little buff. Another idea I have for a serving ability is basically just aim assist, so I'll call it line serve. My vision for this ability is that it'll essentially act like a float serve from the twins. By the way, I have a video on that, so you should watch that, but it'll be crazier. So what I mean by this is that it'll always hit one of the outer lines. So you see like the border around, you know, around the court, there's like a line. You know, there's a line. If you look closely, there's a white line. There's a line there. Some of the hardest serves to receive in this game always touch that line, right? Whether it's a left one, the right one, or even the back one, it's really hard to receive when it goes through one of those lines. So I think for my special ability idea, line serve, it will always touch one of those lines. So you use the ability and you serve, and as long as it's somewhat within the range of a line, I don't know, they could tweak with that a little bit to buff or balance it, it will always just move to the line. I think this could definitely make for some very interesting text. So I don't know, I think it'd be fun to have in game, very interesting, and in my opinion, it would fit perfectly. Now I know I said that I had ideas for these 4 categories, but I actually have another idea since Divine Strength was added. A 5th category that I like to call buffs. So just imagine this. Team Spirit, right? You're imagining it, Team Spirit, but just stronger, you know? Like Team Spirit, it buffs everyone's speed, right? But imagine that, but just like for everything. So I like to call this one Adrenaline. Yeah, I know, right? Or a name, right? Yeah. Basically, what it would do is when you pop this ability, it would increase everyone on your team's stats. It would increase their serve, it would increase their speed, their jump, their spike, their dive, whatever, you name it, it will increase it. The only thing that I think is necessary is that it doesn't increase jump, speed, and spike too much. Because if it did that, then Divine Strength, Boom Jump, and Team Spirit or Rolling Thunder would kind of become useless. So I think it needs to definitely buff those a little less, but it could heavily buff everyone's serve, it could heavily buff everyone's dive, so you can go crazy with those. I don't see it being that useful just because I've never used Divine Strength or anything like that, so to be honest, I really don't know. But I do think that it's an interesting idea to consider, especially depending on how much it actually buffs. The weird thing about this though is, of course, it would be stronger in game modes with more people since it buffs everyone. So in game modes like 2v2, you're only buffing 2 people, but in game modes like 4v4 or 6v6, you're buffing 4 or 6 people, which is pretty much just an incredible buff for everyone. And you can definitely do some pretty crazy things with it. So yeah, that's kind of all of my ideas. I'm reading the script right now, and that's like, I ran out. I guess my creativity's gone. Originally, I was just talking over the ranked gameplay like while I was playing, but I didn't like how it sounded, and I had a lot of filler words, I kept saying right, alright, so right, okay, right, and it was kind of just pissing me off, so I just re-recorded it right now, and now it's a voiceover instead of live commentary. But because of that, you know, there's a little bit of extra time in the video, as you're seeing right now. But I mean, look at this ranked gameplay. Like, you can't tell me I'm not playing like fire right now. Like, to be honest, I'm playing kind of nice, bro. I mean, actually, the opponents are making a lot of mistakes too, so I don't know if I'm just fire at the game or if my opponents suck. But I think I'm just so good at the game that I make my opponents look like they suck. I think that's the best possible explanation for it. Also, I've been starting to order farm in a lot of pro servers a lot. So if you ever see me in a pro server, just like, you know, please glaze me, because I'm trying to like gain aura, you know. Oh, and another thing, I've been thinking about doing sort of like a series, I guess, of like where I look at your clips or your gameplay and try to guess what rank you are. So if you have any ranked gameplay that you want to share with me, then join my Discord server and DM me it. You can send me like a Google Drive link or something. I'll just look at it, and if I get enough, then I will make a video on it. But yeah, that's this video over. The ranked gameplay should be ending. Obviously, there are a lot of parts of the voiceover that I'm gonna cut out, so it might be a little early for me to stop talking, because right now what I'm watching is like me jumping around after the game's over, but you might be still in like the game itself. But I don't know, I'm just yapping. Yeah, just subscribe. Yeah, well, you're gonna hear that all in the outro. Oh my, yo. So the voiceover actually just ended, but I actually didn't talk enough, so I'm gonna be commentating this game as if I was like actually playing the game. So yeah, guys, let's just hope this guy let's just hope the guy gets a nice serve. Yeah, that's a pretty good serve. Okay, let's hope to receive this. Nice receive right there. Please set to me. Unfortunately, it's a little bit slow. I do hit it, but he blocks, and now we're gonna go ahead and go for an angle, but he does receive, and hopefully receive this right here. Oh, they miss it. That's pretty sad. Anyway, the original voiceover is gonna start again, so bye. But yeah, anyway, those were all of my ideas. Like I said, please subscribe. You know, I'm giving away a slot at 8K, so you know, get ready for that. Join the Discord server in the description, and tell me what you think about my ideas. Are they buns? Are they the best ideas you've ever heard? And if you have any different ideas of what the secret ability could be, then let me know in the comments, because I read every single comment. Believe it or not, even if I don't heart it, I've read it, bro. I just decided not to heart it, so yeah. But yeah, just let me know in the I've been yapping for way too long, bro. I'm just gonna end the video. Click the video on screen. I promise it won't disappoint.